To my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, Bolwani, my dear children, this is your queen, Queen Ngningone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people and of the Diasporan Africans, also known as the Immortals. My dear people, welcome to Nubia the Path, to return the home of the African royals. Now, if you're watching me for the first time, hello, my name is Queen Ngningone. I'm the host at Nubia the Path to Return. Welcome, and if you like my vibe, stick around, you will learn something. Now to my returning and amazing royals of Africa, welcome back. My dear children, what are we talking about? We are talking about the enemies of Africa from within. All right, the plan of the United States to invade Africa. I have a few videos for you to watch. Now let's roll them.
If you are Liberian, this is something you need to be paying attention to. The U.S. wants to host a U.S. Africa Command Center in Liberia. The U.S. claims this is in response to Chinese influence in the region, and America says it's going beyond all odds and taking a giant step ahead of China in solidifying its military presence in the region south of the Sahara. This sellout, General Langley, said that it would change the whole calculus of strategic global campaign planning to protect the homeland. Langley said there needs to be a U.S. Africa Command Center in West Africa. He says that China has huge economic leverage in Africa and is using it to influence UN policy and protect access to natural resources. If you wonder why I don't have any respect for black leaders and politicians in America, this is why. Black leaders and black politicians in America are not looking out for the best interests of black people here in America or abroad. They're just there to perpetuate the U.S. system. A U.S. system that is inherently anti-black. No, there shouldn't be a U.S. Africa Command in Liberia. No, Liberians shouldn't be allowing this. They shouldn't even be entertaining this. This is not going to benefit the country at all, especially in the long term. Why is George Weah meeting with the CIA in Langley? Do not allow this to happen and put it to bed. George Weah had a secret meeting at the CIA headquarters in Langley. To add insult to injury, he is not speaking about his CIA trip. This is a continuation of my story of the U.S. trying to establish an AFRICOM command center in Liberia. George Weah visiting the CIA headquarters is a major red flag because no Liberian president has ever visited the CIA headquarters in Langley. Furthermore, this conjures up images of the Cold War, where Liberia was the communication and spy headquarters for the Americans in Africa. George Weah's visit to the CIA was preceded by the director of the CIA, William J. Burns, visiting Liberia. Here's what the CIA said. The CIA said that America needs Liberia to be stable so that they can partner with the country to fight against Russian and Chinese influence. Because America is worried about Chinese and Russian influence, especially in the countries of Guinea, Mali, and Burkina Faso. George Weah visiting the CIA headquarters should be an automatic disqualifier for him being president. This shows that he is not looking out for Liberians, he doesn't care about Liberians, and he is clueless about politics. You're going to meet with the CIA and partner with the CIA, the same CIA that has a history of destroying Liberia, is a major cause, if not the major reason, why Liberia is in the current situation it is today.
Come here. George Weah's secret, not so secret meeting with the CIA of the United States is to clear his behind, his name from what you say, illegal trade, including people and resources. Yes, the same United States CIA that broke Charles Taylor out of a Massachusetts jail and sent him to Libya to arm and train under Gaddafi, and sent him to Liberia to destabilize the country, spinning it into a 20-year war. If it's one thing the United States is good at doing, is tying your ass to a RICO trade and then coming back for motherfucking payment. Just like they did with your boy Charles Taylor, or as we in Liberia would call him, Chale, when they spun the block, came back for that ass and put his ass on trial. The same Charles Taylor that was broken out of that Massachusetts jail by the same CIA. Just as Obama did with Gaddafi. Gaddafi didn't want to pay up, and we saw how that ended up. What is all this for, you say? So the United States can have a stronghold on the west of Africa as China and Russia gain hold of the rest of the continent. Russia, who has freed up Africa's debt, because they are playing a game, and the game is to knock the US dollar off the fucking chart. Yes, Russia and China are allying in the sense that they want to throw this imperial power of the United States off the fucking board. And what the United States is doing right now is going back to the West, territories that their military is known to training to destabilize. And they play the game with these presidents and these leaders, tying them to illegal shit that they know that they can pull up on the Geneva so that they can come back, they can re-up and claim. Like I said, that secret, not so secret meeting that George Weah had with the United States CIA is to clear his name from that with that money and that coca going in and out of the country. Allegedly. All I got to say, but you didn't hear that from me. Make sure y'all blur out my face, okay?
Just coming back from the motherland, Africa, I will be doing a stream that's really dedicated to breaking down what was accomplished, what the mission statement was and is in Liberia. It's time to really become action oriented, right? A lot of individuals know we went on this trip. It was successful, for the record. You've been hearing Africa, Pan-Africanism, Egyptology. You've been hearing all these things. You done heard of Sonetta, and all they talk about is Africa, the diaspora, Africa, homeland, motherland, Africa. Well, guess what? New Breed, Global Truth, along with the United Nation of Israel, actually have political power in Africa. Liberia will end up being the nation's capital. Will end up being the nation's capital of Africa, just like DC is considered the capital. Although Africa is a continent, I understand that, but they will still have a capital, and Liberia will be the capital. Mark my words, that's going to come. Well, guess what? I'm a chief in Liberia, which means I have political power in Liberia, which means there's not a president, not a vice president. Nobody comes into action unless they meet with the chiefs. Do you understand that? Do you know it's around election time right now, right? We were given land that was stolen from our ancestors. Well, not stolen. I'm not going to use that word because the land is still there. The land is virgin. The land is still there and ready for us. 125,000 acres of land. And it's so vast, we can't even say for sure that's how much land is available. Now, with that being said, as y'all can see from my previous last two streams, we met up with Madam Vice President. She's welcoming people home. She's welcoming everyone, right? And who really about the motherland? Who really about Africa? Who really about this spiritual stuff and this movement that they talking about? Because whoever don't be a part of what's being built, or at the very least reach out in respect to leadership in Africa. Yes, I'm part of leadership in Africa. So if you don't even take the initiative to reach out and answer the call, everything you said for all these years is bullshit. And what you were doing essentially was you were selling Wakanda to our people. That's what you were doing. You were cultivating an idea. You were selling an idea to our people. You were selling Wakanda. You gave them an imaginative land, and you were using it to fleece the flock, because you know deep down our people desire freedom. If you're not reaching out, if you're not being a part of what's being built, I know who you are. That woman, she represents your love for the Babylonian, satanic, Idumean, draconian, vampiric imperialism that you really have. A lot of y'all Negroes, y'all talk the talk, but deep down inside, y'all some raccoons. And if you ask them what tribe they from the tribe of Kun Tinte. We're gonna give them that. They from the tribe of Kun Tinte. I know where your tribes are from. If y'all listen, I know y'all. Y'all come over here and y'all talk a lot, but where the action at? That's what I'm asking. The awakened Israelites, that's who he chose. Men who knew who they are. That's who he chose to build political power over there in Africa. The rest of y'all just talking. And I'm done being humble. I done been humble too long. Humble get no respect. I'm not humble no more. I'm a royal prince, look at my bloodline. I'm from the tribe of Judah. Rulership is mine. I know who I am, who I'm destined to be. My life is nothing more than a prophecy. I'm ahead and not the tail, above and not beneath. No weapon shall prosper that's formed against me. I'm of concrete, it ain't no stepping over me. Christ is the foundation and it's built eternally. It's plain to see. Remember what the scripture says, that every man will go back to his land. Every man will go back to his original land. Some of y'all original land is here. Did you hear what I just said? Some of y'all have stock to land right here and worldwide. The whole entire world belongs to the nation of Israel. What you got to understand is there's going to be certain parts that are reserved where the Most High will seal his people. So don't think like the spirit is going to move you. And there's going to be a lot of people going to Liberia, a lot of people, because if the Most High wouldn't have gave us so much land if he wasn't going to use it. Did you hear what I said? The Almighty don't do nothing in vain. He wouldn't have gave us so much land if it wasn't going to be used. That's prophecy. The Most High said, gather yourselves together, O nation, not desire. It's time to gather ourselves together. We taking over. We taking over. Says, look at what the world's coming to. Just look at what the world's coming to. Y'all already know. Also, on the website, there's a chat box. So the question you asking me, you should be asking directly to those who are running the site. So if there's an issue you having, they can actually address it. All right. A lot of times people ask me something personally, and that's not the branch that I work in. So, you know, let the people know on the site know what's going on so they can help you with the situation. Understand? This is not a religious group. All right. This is not what this is. We're actually building with people who understand that we are a nation. We have the historical documents. We have everything, right? We know everything that's owed to us, everything. We know, a lot of us know where we came from, all of it. So this is about a bloodline. This is about a royal bloodline of people. All the Pan-Africans, Egyptologists. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and just start calling y'all names out, but I'm telling you, I'm going to put heat on y'all. At the end of the day, if y'all not trying to build something for real, well, what's available, meaning we got political power now, because I'm in there. An Israelite got that. An Israelite did. Not a Pan-African, not an Egyptologist, but an Israelite man. That's who got that type of power, that seat of authority. So if you're not reaching out, if you ain't trying to build nothing, I know who you are. You one of them slick talking, coon, the white man is this, the white man is that, the white man is this, but you love the white man. You love it. You love the white man's nation. You love what they built. You love his kingdom. Some of you Negroes couldn't survive in the motherland because you love this system that much. Soon as you go over there, you're going into conniptions because you're going to have withdrawals from this Babylonian system. You're not even going to be able to adapt, let alone keep on talking about Egypt and Africa and all that. A lot of y'all full of shit, and I know it, and you know it, and you know that I know that you full of shit. Some of y'all get back into the States and y'all gonna, if y'all travel some of the roads we traveled and walk where we walk, y'all get back into the States and you will kiss the earth of America. You will kiss the ground of America. And you will say to yourself, room service, hot dogs, hamburgers, I'm back. y'all so deep into this, man. Come on, man. Y'all just talk.
Welcome back, my dear children. As you could see, my selection of videos is very self-explanatory. They're losing ground to China and Russia in Africa, and they still think that they're dealing with an old generation of African leaders. Our papas are telling them the hell to the no, and we couldn't be more proud because, hey, you know, who wants to be the underdog all the time? And we've always reproached them that, oh, they don't speak up for us. So now we have a gang of leaders speaking up for us, and we couldn't be more grateful. Thank you, our beloved fathers on the continent and our beloved mothers who do their job, which is to protect the integrity of our homeland and of our people. Now, as you could see, America got their plan, and America has the resources to do it. And let me tell you what is their number one resource. They're captured and enslaved Africans. Okay, when I say captured and enslaved Africans, don't mix all our children in it. I know that for our people watching us from the continent, when you watch this kind of hatred as spewed by the son of nobody, it scares you. It may scare you about, you know, everybody in America, but no, that's not the case. Among these lost ones, among these slaves, because slaves, they have millions of them who will act to their master's request. You know, they took them to a different level. Where you see them, they are spellbound. Their master collect their footprint at birth, their handprint, the blood in their umbilical cord, all kind of things. They have them spellbound. There are millions that we won't be able to retrieve. Now, among these lost ones, among these peasants, among these destroyed ones, damaged ones, among them are the descendants of our priests and of our kings. Yes, they are in minority, but they are there. Those descendants of our fallen kings and priests, they are there. They are not hateful. They are loving. When they see one of us, they're happy to see us. They always ask us about things from home. And they found their way home on their own. They didn't wait for the master to notice them on YouTube, invite them in whatever meeting, and put them in the airplane, and from YouTube have them go shake hands with the VP of Liberia. You see, the children of the peasant, that's all you need to do. Dengo, some thing of power, you know, give them hope that they could rule too, although they're not born for it. Our people say some are born to rule, some are born to follow. If you're born to follow, but you have ambition of the throne, all it's gonna take is dangle carrot like this in front of you. You're gonna sell your father, your mother, your everything, your children, sell them because of that which you know you were not born to have. Greed. My grandfather, who was a king, told me, you will recognize our blood by the wisdom that comes out of their mouth, and you will recognize the son of the peasant by his highly motivated ambition and greed. Okay, so, and I stick to it. Yeah, do sometimes we get played, yeah, because this guy that you see that has turned commando now, you know, he used to be one of these little puppy on YouTube. You don't really know. But I knew the real nature was gonna come. He was just sitting there, building up a platform and, you know, waiting to be recruited. That's how it goes. So if some of you were wondering how does America intend to invade Africa, is through their slaves. Not all our children are infested by that hatred. None of our children speak disrespectfully of Pan-Africanism. None of our children call us coons, because they have an innate disrespect for Africans. They feel that because they were enslaved by the biggest bully, when we come around, we need to submit, surrender ourselves to them. Many of them are deranged, very mentally ill, demonically possessed. Where you see them, a lot of them are spellbound. They can't dare leave America. Their master got their footprints and handprints. What are we talking about? Only the descendant of the royal bloodlines and the priesthood were able to preserve this, to come out of this ordeal and not be damaged, completely consumed by hatred, completely consumed by all that falsehood. This boy, this lousy boy, gets in front of his camera to show dirt. Since we've been sharing the space called YouTube, what do they do with the access they have to me? Is war. They wage war like their former masters. Those of you giving them a bunch of land at home and you don't do it the proper way, if you don't bring them back as our children, you bring them back as expatriate, as descendant of slave, answering their wicked master's last name, and you bring them, you allow the nonsense that come out of their mouth. They come and form a nation. They left as our children. Now they're coming as a nation. Who can stand you? You heard the disdain with which he talks about Africans. You guys are there to crown them. That's what they think, to crown them, to give them power. Listen, my people, let's get serious on the continent. Stop disrespecting our royalty. When you do the honor, when you do the honorary recognition, they take it for real. They think it's a real crown. They think that you gave them power now to come out and insult real royals like me. My family has been around for 17 generations, and I have a son of nobody dangling on my face because some people back at home in Liberia gave him attention. You guys need to start respecting our royalty. I know we got conquered, we got made poor, but we didn't lose sense. You have to see the threat ahead of you. You heard what these people were talking behind closed doors. When they came and saw you, they came as our children. These are the conversations they're having in their chat room. How they're gonna come and take over. How your ancestors stole their ancestors' land. So they don't even believe war happened to us. These are the ones who believe that our ancestors sold them. So they come home with a desire of vengeance, and you guys are giving them land. You can't let a bunch of strangers move in your backyard. This is a security risk. That's why in Tanzania they have guards following them around, because they show them over there that they're crazy. So the government in Tanzania has geared up to follow them around because they are unsafe. It's very unsafe to be around them. Oh, Madam VP is welcoming everybody. Sadly so. Liberia shouldn't open their borders like that to dangerous criminals. This is who they are. You see, in their mind, they think that their own people sold them. You heard his mouth. We know what is owed to us. They couldn't get a kobo, a dime, zero from their former masters in America. It's in Africa, they're going with the talk of what is owed to them. Our people need to be careful. It's not every peasant you give access to our dignitaries. This is what they do with the encounter with you. They come and tell their brothers how they're gonna come and take over you. Listen to the full video. I'll put the link in the description box below, because this Congosa has to get out. I heard him say that, that I love my former masters. No, I don't love my former masters. I kind of like yours better. You see? Because yours are not smelly. In my plantation, they're smelly. You see, my masters, the French, they're smelly. We were not that good of slaves to them. We didn't bath them. We didn't teach them how to bath, nor teach their children how to bath. We were not going down like that. We left them smelly like that. That's why I prefer your masters, because you were that good of a slave to scrub his body good. So now they're clean. So I can come and enjoy them. Because at the end of the day, many of you are dangerous. I learned from a very early time I came here that it's important that you maintain some kind of white connections. Why? Because you need them to survive, you guys, you demons around. When I was still in school, I found out how necessary it is to have some, white connection, because white people know how they damage them. White people know what to do to scare and enrage one of them after you. You know, when I was in school, there was one stalking me, just stalking me everywhere. You know, I grabbed the first white guy that I could grab. I'm like, you know, get him off my back. And he took care of it. That's how, you know, that's how I learned that, yeah, you can't be at war with white people when you're in America, because you might need them to stay alive when your niggas come for you. I learned that. So no, I'm not full of hatred. You know, anybody I share a common interest, we're gonna sit down and talk. This is what this generation is about. We're not the generation of our ancestors who gonna blindly trust you because you look black or because you have ancestry in Africa. When we come here, we see, so we report home. If you wonder why many countries are not come America, you can. After all, they have your blueprints. They're the one who broke your ancestors, who passed you that trauma, that parent who taught you that ignorance, that Africans are coons. Just like Umar Johnson, I'm the King Kong of Pan-Africanism. I found him talking rubbish against me. All these guys want to be me. All these guys wish their ancestors were not captured, that their ancestors stayed on the land, that they still will know their name, they will have something. So these are haters. They hate me so much because I come from a lineage, okay? We got away, my ancestor at age 14 after they murdered his king, okay? He ran and led the people into hiding at age 14. I'm the descendant of that badass. Now you think descendant of the fool who got captured and let his mind, spirit and soul, everything get captured and cooked. You think you can tell me who I am? I know you hate me because I know you're a liar. I know who you are. I know that not all of you are Judah. I know that only those with ancestry in Cameroon stand chance to be descendant of one of the Judah kingdoms. How do I know? The things we are cousin to Judah. Our patriarch is Manasseh. The Ewondos, the Beti, the Bassa, their patriarch is Ephraim. So you hate me because I come with truth. You hate me because I come and tell you folks that they may have stole our identity. The language they speak is not our identity. The ancient Kikongo is God's language. You hate me because I know all this. You hate me because I'm bad news to the illusion you are trying to create. Just like your masters, you guys are trying to claim identities which are not even yours. You could have been picked up somewhere in West Africa. Now you are here claiming Judah. I personally know somebody whom I help pay, whom I finance. I'm like, I want to help you find your root. I pay for both of his ancestry tests. He's Tikar of Cameroon, but he's paraded. He's in the street corner with you all fools screaming he's Judah. He knows he's Tikar. Tikar is not Judah. This is how they maintain the confusion. They refuse, all right? They refuse to do DNA tests, and they hate continental Africans because we still know our roots. We will bust that bubble that not all of you were even descendant of Yakuba. We can bust that bubble. That's why you don't want us on social media. That's why you spend time screaming to what you call your people, not to listen to people like me. You know, you want to come in and tell me I'm not a queen because you went to Africa for 2 weeks. And so you have to understand, you know, talking about lifting up the mirror, you come and attack me because I'm a legit crown royal. You wish you were royalty, you know. You start your video, you call your video separate the fake from the real. Now, I don't know what makes you real. You are the captured one. You are the one who lost everything. I don't know what can make you real. The knowledge you ride on is what your master allows you to access. Isn't that pitiful? The first time you set foot in Africa, 2 weeks, and you come back blazing foolishness. All it took is them to promise you power, imaginary power in Liberia. So now you come and divide your community. You are calling the so-called Hebrew lost fools who are telling everybody in Latin America that they're Hebrew. Those of you who have time to go and check out his video, he seemed like he's a crying boy. You know, he comes after me, he doesn't know me. In Africa, when we see a boy that rude, we believe that his mother cursed him. Do you know what we ask him? Which one of your mothers sat on your face? Your mother, your aunt, your sister? A woman sat on your face. That's why that mouth is ugly when it comes to talking about women. Oh, he mentioned that he got crowned in Liberia. I don't know which king get crowned in 2 weeks. You guys have to understand that they are honorary titles. These titles are just for papers. It's just for show. Let me just put it this way. You hold no power, okay? Because real power that comes with this title, you know, it comes with whomever held it before. And I doubt that the chief, you know, relinquished his power to you, this captured African coming back home to invade them. A royal priesthood could never crown you because you wouldn't make it past our security clearance. So I can't say that you're king because a royal priesthood, they scan you through, you wouldn't have passed the security required. They would have known, they would have seen that you are an agent. It's all over you. Only a grown man wears braces. You know, after his master pays him, he can afford braces then. Another thing I will advise this lousy boy and all those who sound and speak like him to refrain from insulting Pan-African. You know, the problem is the savages in America, they feel that anything is a fair shot. We are Pan-Africanists because our people were Pan-Africanists. My grandfather was a Pan-Africanist. He told me about Nkrumah. My father was a Pan-Africanist. He told me about Thomas Sankara. So naturally, I'm going to grow up to become a Pan-Africanist. And Pan-Africanism, you know, preaches the unity of the African people around the world. Of course, you're going to hate us. You are, you know, these damaged souls who are trying to come into our homeland to invade us under the, you know, the command of, you know, their masters. Of course, you're going to hate us because we preach for the unity of our people. So I hate our lousy boys and girls out there to engage into talks they have no knowledge about, they don't know nothing. I will suggest you start showing respect to our fallen fathers. We lost many and are still losing many who are Pan-Africanists. Okay, our fathers been paying the ultimate price for freedom that you nasty idiots are not ready nor willing to pay. So you shut the hell up against my parents, my fathers, my mothers, and my foremothers. Shut the hell up against them. You are nobody to talk about them or judge them or anything. We know who you are. You're a stupid slave. So show respect to our fallen fathers. My fathers fought for freedom, not a fight to have a room in a master's house, not a fight to have a seat at the master's table. Of course, you and I are gonna clash. Different spirit, different rank, different ideology, different everything. You would have wished that my ancestor also was captured into slavery and made slave like you. You hate that he got away. You hate that he was faster on his feet than your ancestors. Luckily, other ones of our children are grateful that some of us got away. Only then they found out that they were kidnapped. Only then they found out who they were sons and daughters of. Only then they found out where is the land they should go back to. So to your call, you say you're setting your call. Now you're willing to gather everybody because you think you have power. You want to talk about my land. I'm not a fool. They're going to come and discuss my business publicly. We don't do that. We know who to take home and who to keep away from home. And you and your group, anything Hebrew or Israelite or whatever you call yourself these days, these are terrorist group. People back at home don't allow any settlement in your background of that group of people. They are probably funded and financed by the CIA. Only their members. You see them jumping from a seat on YouTube to the presidential palace of our dignitaries on the continent. Now we all royals, we know what it means. And you're not fooling anyone. You're a puppet in the making. You see the difference between you and I? I come from the Bakongo. My ancestors were lined up after we got conquered. They were lined up to have their limbs cut before they could work us as slaves in our homeland. These are the people I come from. So you haven't seen nothing yet. Son of nobody, king wannabe, royalty wannabe. What we do to haters, jealous, people who want to be us while they hate us. People who want to be African royalty, ones that call us coons. I sit here with my perfect teeth straight. As you could see, my bloodline is pure. My bloodline wasn't ravaged, okay? I didn't get all that shot of evil in me. So it bothers you, it bothers someone like you to see an original like me. So you have to go and make a video talking about, oh, we need to separate the fake from the real. Now we know who the fake are, okay? You see them jumping from a seat on YouTube to the presidential palace of our dignitaries on the continent. Now we all royals, we know what it means. And I know it hurts for a group of people who didn't fight the fight for freedom, okay? A lot of people in America think, I rather think that this is this generation problem. I want to believe that the oldest generation, I mean, they fought the real fight, the fight for freedom. But for some reason, this generation that has grown xenophobic and racist and Afrophobic, this generation in their mind, they think that their ancestors fought not the fight for freedom, but the fight to become Mundele, the fight to become American, the fight to have the same right as the white man. That's why many of you are quick to throw it on people's face. Oh, you come here and enjoy what we did. We suffered, we build this, or you love America, blah, blah, because, you know, you scorn. Because you fought for that. You didn't fight for freedom. You fight to have a room in your master's house. You fight to have a seat at your master table. These are two different things. You see, my ancestors in the Congo, those who were lining up to have their limbs cut off before they could be reduced slave on their father's land and on their mother's land, they fought the fight for freedom. So I understand when you call for separation, these nasty slaves from America, these Tobies, because we have Kuntas and we have Tobies. These Tobies, you know, they be so nasty about it. They come on your face, they wage war. You know, they will treat you like they hate you, but in reality, they really want to be you. You know, when you come first, they want to bully your culture out of you. They want to make you feel uncool just to be you. But as you hold on to your culture, you praise it, you cherish it, and then you become, oh, they think they're better, just like their masters. Watch them. He come and attack, oh, you're not a king, you're not a queen. For him to declare that he was made a king just 2 weeks in Liberia. So he want to take a crown from my head, a crown I'm born with, to put on his dumbass slave head. That trade will never happen, and I will handle you the level my ancestor would I handle your ancestor. Now you can go and do whatever you want with this. This is my take on your stupid mission statement. Africa, prepare. The time of the prophecy has come. So the guardians of the land, you know what to do. All right? Unlike these lousy ones, we don't take our intelligence out. Those of our children who are interested in doing a proper return home, those who want to return as our children, not a so-called nation, you can go through my website, you know, NUBIAReturn.com. We royals, we don't come in diarrhea of the mouth like we saw you do. Now your master gonna need to fire you and recruit somebody else who can hold his tongue. Because with your video alone, we already know if an invasion is to happen from America, it's going to start in Liberia. So we know already what to do. Our people in Liberia who don't want to see it happen now know what to do. The people in leadership who thought they were giving land to so-called children coming back home, also they know what to do at this point now. I was late to watch that video. I didn't, he's a guy I don't even follow. I've seen him here and there. But yesterday his video was literally delivered to me just so that I could get this message to people on the continent. So Liberia, if you're watching this video, do not give them land back at home, or you have to prepare for the war of a lifetime. You don't know these niggas here. Many of them are hateful. Many of them will bear arms on their master's command as if it's nothing. Remember, in their mind, they are not us. So they are already detaching them from home. They told many they are native, but this fool, you see him even inviting those who so-called belong to America, telling them that they have stack of land not only here, but also in America, feeding them the propaganda, the latest brainwash their masters has been subjecting them to. They couldn't get anything in America from their master, but they're now believing in the illusion that their master gonna give them stack of lands globally. Only a slave, his brain got shook enough to believe these kind of lies. But those who want to ride with it, good luck. And as far as I'm concerned, I won't tell you how the prophecy ends, but yes, we've been prepared and we're ready. They feel some kind of way when they see us coming, because it's a slap on their faces from their masters to invite other people to come and so-called enjoy, participate in this economy we didn't help create. I know it's gonna make any woman feel bitter, like her boyfriend doesn't like her anymore. It's almost ridiculous. Like, these niggas don't want to share their masters. They don't want to share their plantation, because if they fought the fight of freedom, when they see us coming, they will be welcoming, they will cheer, they'll be like, hey, see other one who broke from another plantation in the Caribbean, in Africa, because we're still under occupation, just so that you know. That's, our people are big on bloodline. And you're gonna see a lot of imposters, fake royals wannabe. They go and meet with the masters, just like back in the days. The masters told them they were the kingmakers, so they go through the same route. Their descendant, it's in their blood to act like that. So they go to the same route, go to the master to get crowned, and then he come and challenge a queen like me, a peasant. Not all of you are broken. I know that. That's why I'm asking the people on the continent, please don't rule out all our children in America. You have to understand that among these toxic, idiot, devilish, demonic, possessed fools, okay, planning to come and invade us, the descendant of our kings and priesthood are there. As you know, we don't leave blood behind. But in the process of welcoming our children, we have to be careful. Don't just allow them to come there and make camps on your backyard while their masters are sending weapons to them. Their masters are now telling them they're native of this land, so they won't have any loyalty to the land. You see this fool talking about, he says that people will return to the land of their ancestors, but now he's inviting knuckleheads here who claim they're from here to come and move to Africa. So you're gonna have people with no connection to the land, with no connection to the culture, with no connection to the people in your background, people who were molded to be killing machine on command. I don't think it's a wise idea. I know that there's still some original Liberians over there. Not everybody is descendant of the enslaved African. They sent there to overthrow the power. We know that. The reason why he's prophesying that Liberia gonna be the capital of the United Nations of Africa is because he sat in a meeting with his masters. To those of you who's gonna hear people talk about Liberia, those African American deciding to go to Liberia are going to Liberia for the same reason Taylor went to Liberia, to overthrow and to take over. You heard from the horse's mouth, we're going to take over. You heard from the horse's mouth. He said that the land they stole from our ancestors. So people in Liberia, people in authority in Liberia, I didn't know you were that accessible, that thugs like this can climb down from their YouTube chair and walk into your palaces. But this is just the clips of the conversation they're having behind closed door. This is what they're gonna do with the loving, you know, hospitality you're trying to extend to them. But this time around, social media is here to show us. Our chosen royals who come to me, they come with a protocol. Everywhere we landed, we always taught our children what to pass down. Number one is the name of the God of our ancestors and the name of our tribe. So even our royals who contacted me, they told me, my grandfather told me that the name of our God is so and so, the name of our tribe in the Congo is so and so. We don't get lost. We're not peasants. Now, when you are a Toby, they have stripped you off naked of everything. You go to your masters, get the master's blessing to go and get a so-called crown in Africa. To think a peasant like you, you're gonna come and you're a fool. And I curse the ground you walk on. Every step going forward, every one of your steps and that of your followers who are going to follow you in that madness is cursed. The wind will forever blow against your destination. Ha! You have bit more than you can chew, little lousy boy. Come on and take what we owe you. Our Liberian people, you better listen. These are the people you're welcoming. If you want to bring your children correctly, normally, go to my website, NUBIAReturn.com. Fill out the application and tell us that you intend to adopt a family in the diaspora. That's the only safe way we can do it. Families in the diaspora adopting families on the continent. You have to give them to somebody. You have to give them a root. You have to give them to a tribe. You have to give them a name and break all these curses they packed with. Okay? You have to do that. Other than that, it's gonna be war. They don't get along. Many of them don't get along with us who live here. What makes you think they're coming home to be your child? They're coming home to take over. You heard them, we're taking over. So people on the continent, please be aware of what's going on and don't let any fool, don't let, you know, the mistake of our ancestors, because you have to see them as their masters. They may look like us. That's why they took them away, to use them for stuff like that. They come so they can fool us. They still look black, but inside is a European demon. Right? So don't listen to these fools dividing us. To our Africans, our children of Africa born in America, we are one. With our people on the continent, we are not taking any money to go and invade our homeland. We are not helping anybody do anything against our own people. It's against the covenant ruling over us. Until next time, peace, love, and unity.
And they started. In January 1961, they assassinated Patrice Emery Lumumba, and Congo has never been the same again. In 1963, they assassinated Sylvanus Olympio in Togo, and Togo has never been the same again. Then there were coup d'etats, Kwame Nkrumah himself. In 1966, eliminated via coup d'etat, all his writings, all his speeches banned, never to be read, never to be listened to until 1972, when Ignatius Kutu Acheampong rehabilitated him. Ahmed Ben Bella in Algeria, gone. In Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, gone. In Mali, Modibo Keita, gone. In Chad, everywhere, coup d'etats. Here in Ethiopia, 1974, if I'm not wrong, coup d'etat and the emergence of the Deg regime. In East Africa, Uganda coup d'etat, mutinies in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania in 1971. All orchestrated because we were disunited and we were weak. The predictions of our forefathers and founding mothers that disunited we would remain weak came true. That is the history of it.